Okay, so I have manipulated the key on my right here, the control, 0.5 ml catalase, 1 ml catalase, and 1.5 milliliters of catalase. And I did that again by just right-clicking and selecting data source. So I like the way that looks. And what I'm going to do now is select the data to get the best fit line from. Now here's a problem right here. You'll notice that my reaction maxed out, and I would say that happened at about 80 seconds. And that was for, let's see, that was for the X's for the 1.5 mils of catalase. I only want the linear part of the graph, so I don't want where it maxed out, because if I take that average, some of that average is going to include the part where there actually was no reaction. So I'm going to go to my data. I'm going to go over here. And I know that my average is in column I, and I actually don't want to graph everything after 80 seconds because I know that that ended up hitting the maximum because the flask couldn't hold any more pressure, right? Or the recording device couldn't take more than 10 kilopascals. So I'm just going to delete these. I don't want that data. Anything past, whoopsie, nope, that was line 80, not 80 seconds. Whoopsie, here's 80 seconds. Where's 80 seconds? Down here. Seconds is in column A. So here is 80 seconds. Again, I'm going to go to column A, column I, and I'm going to delete all the data after that. You can see that the data looks pretty similar. So just delete that. And the same thing is true, I think. Now take a look at my graph. Right? Where's my graph? Where's my graph? Where's my graph? There's my graph. Oops, that was the wrong data set. That was my control that I deleted. I don't want to do that. I want to undo that. Let's see how my graph looks now. Hopefully I put that back. Yeah, I did put that back. I want to do series 4, which is in column AG. I'm going to move my graph around a little bit. Go over there. Alrighty. I'm going to do this correctly now. Okay, column AG. And 80 seconds begins in row 162, so I'm going to go back to column AG, and starting at row 162 I'm going to delete all that data. You can see it's all exactly the same because, as I said before, it hit the maximum value that the pressure sensor could manage. So I'm going to delete that. Now hopefully I'm going to look at my graph and there's going to be a beautiful, yep, awesome, look at that, beautiful linear line. Okay, so what I can do is right click on it. I'm going to add trend line. I'm going to select a linear trend line, which is the default, and display the equation on the chart and close that. And there's my beautiful trend line for 1.5 mils of catalase. Now it's going to indicate that I have a trend line by doing linear series 4. I don't want that. Oh, look at that. I lost my labels for my key. I'm going to have to go back and relabel those. But in any case, here's my formula for my line, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. So in this case, the slope is 0.1242 kilopascals per second. If you have data that maxed out, you have to find the time where it maxed out. So for series 3, I would say about 100 seconds. I'll go back. I'll delete the data after 100 seconds of the average, and I will get the best fit line. But for these two data sets here, for the control and for 0.5 mils, you can see it didn't max out, so those are going to be just fine. I can add my trend lines and get my slopes, and then I will put those slopes in a table of their own so that I can just compare the data. And that's how you use Excel.